Imagine a world where a single individual had the power to shape the course of a nation's economy and culture. That world existed in the early 20th century, and that individual was J.P. Morgan. Today, we're going to explore how this titan of finance helped shape America as we know it, and the controversies that surround his legacy. At the turn of the 20th century, America was a rapidly growing nation. Its industries were booming, and its cities were expanding, and J.P. Morgan was one of the most influential figures in the world of finance. John Pierpont Morgan, better known as J.P. Morgan, was born on April 17, 1837, in Hartford, Connecticut. He was the son of Junius Spencer Morgan, a successful banker, and Juliet Pierpont Morgan, who came from a prominent New England family. J.P. Morgan grew up in a privileged environment and received an excellent education, attending private schools in Boston and Switzerland before enrolling at the University of Göttingen in Germany. After completing his education, Morgan returned to the United States and joined his father's banking firm, J.S. Morgan & Co., in New York City. He quickly established himself as a capable financier, and in 1860, at the age of 23, he was named a partner in the firm. However, his career was briefly interrupted by the outbreak of the American Civil War, during which he served as a civilian agent for the Union Army. One of the defining moments of Morgan's career was his role in resolving the Panic of 1893. This financial crisis caused widespread bank failures and economic hardship throughout the country. It began with the failure of the Philadelphia and Reading Railroad, which had been overextended due to the construction of new lines and the acquisition of other railroads. This led to a domino effect as other railroads and banks began to fail, causing widespread panic and economic hardship. The panic quickly spread throughout the country, and by the end of the year, thousands of businesses had failed. Unemployment had soared, and the stock market had plummeted. The crisis was exacerbated by a lack of government intervention, as President Grover Cleveland refused to use federal funds to bail out struggling banks and businesses. It was against this backdrop that J.P. Morgan stepped in. Morgan recognized the severity of the crisis and saw an opportunity to help save the faltering U.S. Treasury. He organized a syndicate of banks, including his own firm, J.P. Morgan & Co., to loan the government $62 million in gold. This move helped stabilize the economy and restored confidence in the financial system. Morgan's success in resolving the Panic of 1893 led to his increased influence on the banking industry. One of Morgan's most significant contributions to banking was the creation of the International Mercantile Marine Company in 1902. This company was formed through the merger of several major shipping companies and was intended to provide a more efficient and cost-effective way to transport goods and people across the Atlantic Ocean. The company was hugely successful and became a major player in the shipping industry. In addition to his work with the International Mercantile Marine Company, Morgan was also involved in the creation of a number of other financial institutions. These included the Bankers Trust Company, which he established in 1903, and the American Telephone and Telegraph Company, which he helped to finance in 1907. Morgan's involvement in these ventures helped shape the modern financial landscape and laid the foundation for the growth of the American economy in the 20th century. Morgan's influence on banking was not limited to the creation of new institutions, however. He was also a strong advocate for the consolidation of existing banks, arguing that this would create a more stable and efficient banking system. He played a pivotal role in the formation of the Federal Reserve System, which was established in 1913 to provide a more stable banking system and prevent future financial crises. One of Morgan's biggest contributions to Americans' growth was his role in financing the expansion of the railroads. Railroads were the backbone of American commerce, connecting the nation's farms, factories, and cities. However, many railroads were struggling to keep up with the demand for new lines and equipment. Morgan saw an opportunity to consolidate these struggling companies into a single, efficient network. He created a holding company called Northern Securities, which acquired several major railroad companies and brought them under one umbrella. This allowed for more efficient operations and better management, which in turn led to increased profits and growth for the railroad industry. Morgan's involvement in the railroad industry did not stop with the creation of Northern Securities. He continued to play a key role in financing the construction and expansion of railroads across the country. One of his most significant projects was the financing of the Panama Canal Railway, which was a crucial link in the transportation network connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Morgan also played a pivotal role in the creation of the Southern Railway Company. This was a massive undertaking involving the consolidation of several smaller railroads into a single entity. Morgan's financial expertise and his ability to rally investors made the project possible. The Southern Railway Company became one of the largest and most successful railroads in the country, and it played a vital role in the economic development of the southern United States. In addition to his work with established railroad companies, Morgan was also a strong advocate for the construction of new railroads. He saw the potential for new railroads to open up new markets and connect previously isolated communities. He was instrumental in the financing of several new lines, including the New York, New Haven, and Hartford Railroad, which connected New York City with Boston. Morgan's financing also helped shape the growth of American corporations. He was instrumental in the creation of companies like General Electric and U.S. Steel, which became some of the largest and most successful companies in the world. In the case of General Electric, Morgan helped to finance the merger of Edison General Electric and Thomson-Houston Electric Company, which led to the creation of one of the largest companies in the world. Under Morgan's guidance, GE became a leading innovator in the fields of electricity and manufacturing. Similarly, Morgan played a pivotal role in the formation of U.S. Steel, which became the world's first billion-dollar company. Morgan saw the potential of the steel industry and helped to create a company that would dominate the market for years to come. Morgan's impact on American corporations extended beyond his role in establishing particular firms. He was also a driving force behind the development of modern corporate governance and management practices. Morgan believed that corporations needed strong, centralized leadership in order to be successful. He pushed for the creation of boards of directors, which would provide oversight and guidance to company executives. He also believed in the importance of professional management and encouraged companies to hire experienced executives to run their operations. Morgan's influence on corporate governance extended beyond his own companies. He served on the boards of several major corporations and used his position to push for reforms in the way that corporations were run. He was a strong advocate for transparency and accountability, and he believed that companies had a responsibility to their shareholders and to the public. Despite his focus on centralized leadership and professional management, Morgan was also a strong advocate for innovation and entrepreneurship. He saw the potential for new technologies and new business models to transform the economy, and he encouraged companies to invest in research and development. Morgan believed that companies needed to be able to adapt to changing circumstances in order to survive and thrive. During World War I, Morgan's financial expertise was in high demand. The U.S. government needed to raise significant amounts of money to fund its war effort, and Morgan was one of the few individuals with the knowledge and resources to make it happen. Morgan helped to organize a series of bond sales, which allowed the government to raise billions of dollars to finance the war. He also worked closely with the Federal Reserve to ensure that there was enough money in circulation to support the war effort. Morgan's contributions to the war effort went beyond just his financial expertise. He was also a strong advocate for the war and worked to rally public support for America's involvement. He believed that the war was a necessary step to ensure America's place in the world and to protect the country's economic interests. J.P. Morgan's contributions to America extended even beyond finance. He was a great lover of the arts and culture and used his vast wealth to support numerous institutions and organizations that promoted education, science, and the arts. Morgan donated millions of dollars to institutions like the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the American Museum of Natural History, and Harvard University. He was also instrumental in the establishment of the Pierpont Morgan Library, which houses a vast collection of rare books, manuscripts, and works of art that Morgan collected throughout his life. Morgan's contributions to the arts and culture helped to shape the cultural landscape of America and have lasting impacts on society. He was also a strong advocate for education and made significant contributions to higher education in America. Morgan believed that a strong education system was essential for the growth and success of America, and his contributions helped to create opportunities for generations of students to come. Despite the controversies surrounding his legacy, J.P. Morgan's philanthropic contributions to education and the arts had a profound impact on American society. His vision for a better America included not only a strong financial infrastructure, but also a culture that valued education, science, and the arts. However, Morgan's legacy is not without controversy. One of the most controversial events associated with Morgan was the Panic of 1907. Morgan played a key role in ending the panic by organizing a group of bankers to provide emergency loans to banks and corporations. However, Morgan's actions also raised concerns about the concentration of wealth and power in the hands of just a few individuals. Some criticized Morgan for using his vast wealth and influence to manipulate the stock market and exert control over the government. Despite these controversies, Morgan's influence on America cannot be denied. His financing helped to shape many of the industries and companies that are still prominent today, including railroads, steel, and banking. His philanthropic contributions to education and the arts also had a lasting impact on American society. Morgan's legacy continues to inspire debate and discussion. Some view him as a visionary who helped to shape America's economic and cultural landscape, while others criticize him for using his wealth and power to exert control over the government and manipulate the stock market. Regardless of one's views on his legacy, there's no denying that J.P. Morgan played a major role in shaping America's growth and prosperity in the early 20th century, and his influence can still be felt today. That's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe to us here at Crown Luxury for more videos on the history of America. We'll see you in the next video.